Today on ET Now to talk about your numbers. Let's talk about the quarter gone by. It's, obviously been challenging because there's the impact from delayed launches as well. So what's the contribution from your key drugs, Favipiravir and Remdesivir in third quarter? Talk to us about the change in management as well of Biocon Biologics.
Sure. Quarter three obviously has been a muted quarter compared to previous quarters, but nevertheless, we have delivered at a consolidated level 7% growth. The quarter was actually dragged down by the muted performance of our generics business. But if you look at, the biologics business, it grew 11%, and of course, Syngene grew 13%. So I think that is what basically contributed to better growth. And more importantly, I think the biologics business and the Syngene business had good sequential, growth. The biologics business, as you know, had a very bad Q4 last fiscal, but thereafter it has recovered. And quarter on quarter, it has shown sequential growth. And accordingly, even this quarter, it has shown a sequential growth of 14%. And if you look at the profit before tax, at a sequential level, it has grown, in fact, 37% to 111 crores this quarter. In terms of the change in some of the management announcements that I made, whilst the CEO of Biocon Biologics has stepped down from the board, this we believe will not impact the business growth and the business opportunities for the business. There have been differences in the way the CEO has wanted to, grow the business as a global business, and the way I saw the way we should be approaching building this global business. But nevertheless, I think we reached a mutually agreed separation agreement. And I wish the CEO all the best, because she has tried her, made very good efforts to try and build a global business. And I believe that there will not be a significant disruption because of her departure.
Ms. Shaw, if you could also shed some light on your expectations, because they were pointing towards a strong growth sequentially in biologics business and Glargine launch as well. In this context, and also if you could tell us the pace of the market share gain, speak to us about the overall quarter and tell us about the market share of Semglee in the US, how the pricing of this product has panned out.
Well, as I said, it is too early to comment on the insulin business in the US because, this is just an early entry phase. So you cannot be talking about pricing and market share. Right now, market share is just below 1%. But that's because we haven't yet entered into the formularies. The way this business works is to get into formularies. And that's why we are waiting to get into these formularies, and Mylan is in the process of doing that. So as soon as we get into formularies, we expect it to ramp up. And it is, because of COVID, a much slower process than before. So I don't think there is anything attributable to pricing or anything of that sort. As far as, Mylan, or rather Viatris and Biocon is concerned, I think what is very interesting is that we will have a very comprehensive portfolio of insulins like no other company. As I mentioned, Aspart is the next product which we expect approval from the US. So between Aspart, Glargine, and then on our own, we are bringing in recombinant human insulin. We have a very comprehensive portfolio of insulins, which we will be very seriously addressing in terms of market share, market offering. And I think we will be very strongly positioned in the insulin segment going forward.
Okay, Ms. Shaw, total outside investments in Biocon Biologics so far, if you could just break that up for us, because we saw Tata Capital Growth Fund as well investing about $30 million in Q2. And also, would there be any delay in, launching the IPO for the company?
Well, we have always indicated that an IPO is being looked at over the next 18 to 24 months, and we remain committed to that. Obviously, if, for some reasons the COVID crisis continues to plague the world over the next year, then we might have to revisit that particular target date. But other than that, I think we just need to get the trajectory back. I think right now we have seen a slackening of the pace of growth. So that is what we need to really keep tabs on. We need to get back to a strong growth trajectory. The moment we get back to strong growth trajectory, obviously the IPO is a very important part of our way ahead.
Ms. Shaw, really appreciate you giving us your time today on ET Now to talk about the numbers and all the latest updates from different businesses. Well, we'll take a very short break on the show. Don't go anywhere.